Well, a couple days ago I did a video called The Dating Traps Nobody Warns You About. Talking about various things in my life, where not to meet women. And I mentioned internet dating. Yeah. Some of you put in the comments, well, I've had a good experience. I met them 10 years ago. We're still together today. Well, good. I'm glad it worked out for you because, well, it never worked out for me, man. I got some doozies. Oh, somebody didn't like my slurping again the other day. There you go. Well, I have 3 stories here of my worst internet dates of all time. Now, however you meet them online, whether it be a chat room, a messenger, I don't know, a dating service, which I don't think I've ever used one of them, it's always a risk. You don't know if that person is being truthful with you. Most of the time they are, because if you meet up, well, that person's going to know anyway. So you might as well be truthful. But I will give you a clue, guys. Women do this, and I imagine some men do this too. If you see a picture, their profile picture, and it's like this, okay, just shows the face, but doesn't show anything else, they're hiding something. They are hiding something. They might be a begging. Might be something else. Maybe they only got one leg. Don't know. But I have found the ones that do this, they crop it. They're not who they say they are. Might as well take the full picture. I could have moved right on along. But no, you look pretty. So I stopped, said hi. The very first internet date I ever had. I was pretty stupid, actually. Now, this would have been in Cleveland. Just before, I was living in the same apartment I was living in when I left and went to Texas, to meet the woman I never seen. I'd talked to it was Easter Sunday. I had talked to this woman all day long. She was a nurse. She was at work at the nurse station all day. She would stop and go do something, check on somebody, stick a thermometer in somebody's butt, come back, type some more. Okay, I understood. It was Easter Sunday. Where was I going? We talked for a few hours. She's like, well, we should meet for a drink after I get off. Well, it's Easter Sunday, but my local bar across the street, they're open. I go in there all the time, man. I'm a regular, right? Like an idiot. I tell her, well, my bar is open. She says, well, yeah, I give her the information where it was. And I say, well, when you get, we set the time. I go into the bar first. I warned the bartender. I said, hey, man, this is what's going down. He says, you're crazy, dude. I said, I know. She shows up. She ain't the best looking woman in the world, I can tell you that right now. No, not my type at all. Does never shut up. Never. I'm like, I gotta get out of this. I'm drinking Budweiser long necks. Every time I order one, she's got to peel the label off and stick it on the bar. She says, that's something I just can't resist doing. Yeah, I understand the attraction to pulling them labels off the beer because it's fun. Especially if you can get it all off in one piece. You get the bottle wet enough, you can get it all off in one piece, and you can make your own damn wallpaper out of it. I know how that is, man. No, I don't. This is 1998. I don't have a cell phone, okay? But in these old neighborhood bars in Cleveland, people call all the time. The phone's always ringing, always ringing. Hey, man's Larry there? Yep. Larry, it's your wife. I'm not here. Larry! You know, that type. You've seen it if you've ever went to a bar. There's a payphone by the men's restroom. So I goes to the payphone. I call the bar. I said, hey, man, get me out of here. I said, next time that phone rings, before you get off the phone with whoever you're talking to, act like you looking at me and then call me and say, hey, Mike, you got to leave. It's your boss. He needs you. I said, make something up. Get me out of here. I walked there. It was across the street. Okay, I walked there. She drove. I don't know where she lived. So the next time the phone rings, which took forever, I almost had a whole wall of wallpaper by the time it rang again. Budweiser labels. Finally, it rings. We do the little act. I get to leave. Oh, okay, well, and then she says, can I give you a ride home? I said, oh, no. He's picking me up here at the corner, and I'm going to just walk down there. I gotta walk home first and get a few things, and then he's picking me up. Okay. She follows me out the door. Says, well, at least let me give you a ride to your house. It's not far, okay? It's right there. But I ain't showing her my apartment. She won't go away, man. She will not go away. Finally, I say, okay. I say, here, drop me off here. Wasn't my apartments. Wasn't even the right ones. She proceeds to wait. Said, I guess to see if I'm going to get in. Well, I don't live there. But these apartments were, they had like 4 units. They had a hallway and stairs. They had 4 units. And there would be, you know, separate doors in there. So you could actually go in, shut the door. So I go in there and I wait. I'm like, she's got to pull off now that she thinks I'm home. And I peek out there. She's still sitting there, man. Finally, I just say hell with it. I come out. I said, I'm going to just stand here. You can go on home now. And it took forever to get her out of there. But now she knows where I hang out. I didn't go in that bar for the next 6 months. I'm telling you. That was the first one. And the second one, I was living in Minnesota, Twin Cities area. I met this girl. Same thing. Seen her picture and it didn't look bad. We made up at this bar that I usually hang out at, but there were many. So it wasn't one I was real worried about. Because I'd learned my lesson, right? From the first time. Don't let them come to your backyard like that. But this was, you know, I could do without going into this place. It was one of them karaoke bars. Yeah. Meet this girl. I'm not floored. She's not bad, but I'm not floored. You know, she ain't nothing special. So I give her the benefit of a doubt. She says, oh, I like singing. Okay, well, I'll get you a piece of paper, find you a song, and give it to the dude, and sing your heart out. Yeah. She finds a song. Her turn comes up. I will say, I'm pretty good on karaoke. I can belt out some David Allan Coe and Johnny Cash and songs like that. No, I get claps when I'm done. People, all right. She gets up to sing this song. I don't remember what song it was. But whatever it was, she ruined it. The worst singer I've ever heard. The classic, horrible karaoke singer. And not only did she sing it, she had to bust into a full dance routine up there on stage like she was professional. She gets done singing. I'm kind of embarrassed because it sucked. It sucked. Everybody suffered through her song. How did I get myself in these pickles? I was thinking to myself. She grabs the book. She fills out another one. And another one. And another one. This goes on. She is very insistent with the karaoke guy. She wants to sing. About 2 or 3 songs later, she comes down there where I'm at and says, "Can I borrow $100? And I had it. But I'm like, man, I don't even know this girl. I ain't giving her no $100. Hell no. Problem was, I picked her up. So I'm stuck with this girl. I got to get her home or something. Finally, I devised myself a plan. You know what? It will be well worth the money to give her $100 and tell her I got to go to the bathroom and slip out the door. And that's exactly what I did. Slipped out the door. I never went in that bar again. Whew, that was best $100 I ever spent in my life. I ain't kidding you. But I didn't learn my lesson. No. No, you see, a few years later, I'm in Denver. Yeah. I actually lived there quite a while. I meet this girl. She looked good too. We went out on a date. Went to the Olive Garden. You know, they got good salads at the Olive Garden. She got a salad, I got a salad. Ordered the entrees. We had a good date. It was one of them dates where you have the dinner and you have a little chit chat and you go home. She goes home, I go home. We met there. Well, the next time, she says, well, I'd like to cook you dinner. Come over to my place. Okay. Gives me the address, I remember, because I got lost looking for it. It was kind of out of the way back in a little neighborhood somewhere, and it took me a while to find it. I get lost quite a bit. Not anymore because GPS, but I used to get lost quite a bit. Just something with directions. I find her house. It ain't the nicest looking house in the world, but, you know, we're in our early 30s. I figure, you know, hey, probably looks good inside, right? Nope. I am not kidding you. I walk in this place, and there is crap piled everywhere. Everywhere. Bags, boxes. Have you ever seen an episode of Hoarders? She was probably on it. It was nasty. Cockroaches running every place I looked, they was running. It stunk. When I met her for the date, she was all pretty and clean and nice clothes, nice hair. And she lives in this place. And it was horrendous smelling. And I gotta eat here. Oh, I gotta come up with a plan, don't I? But I don't want to hurt her feelings. She's still a human being. Not a bad person. She's just a slob. A hoarder. Definitely going to be the last date. I just got to figure out, how do I get out of it? Again, I didn't have no cell phone. Cell phones will save you if you got one, but I didn't have one. Dinner is on the stove. And I got no choice, man. I got to eat it. Thank God it was on paper plates. I almost wanted to eat with my fingers. When she wasn't looking, I took the fork and I rubbed it real good with my shirt. I had to choke this food down. It wasn't bad. I didn't see how it was prepared or where it was prepared, but I had to eat it. My stomach felt fine. I didn't get sick or anything. My brain is going 100 miles an hour trying to figure out how to get out of it. So I come up with a good plan. We're sitting there in the middle of a conversation, you know, around some boxes and stacks of papers and garbage bags full of who knows what. And I tense up real good and I grab my knee. I said, oh, oh. She's like, what? I said, oh, my knee does this once in a while. It's an old football injury. I got to go home. I'm sorry, I got to go home. I got stuff for it at home, and ice packs. Oh, I got ice. I said, no, I just need to get home because it's going to last for hours, and I'm not going to be good company. Okay. Okay. I said, can you help me to my car? And I play out, limping and gimping. She helps me to the car. Well, we'll just have to do this again tomorrow. I said, I'll call you. Never saw her again. You would think I'd learned my lesson, but no. It went on several more times before I finally said, hey man, the internet is evil. It is pure evil, and I ain't never doing it again. And there you have it. My 3 worst stories. Some of the details might have been forgotten, but I do know the ones that mattered, and that's what I told you. Trying to get out of something. Have you ever been on one of them dates you want to get out of, but you don't know how to do it? They got apps for that now. There wasn't no apps for that back then. Thanks for watching. Happy trails.